Hey, what's up guys? It's Steph here. I am so excited to be here to share with you the results of a project that has been so long in the making. If you're new to my channel, hey, what's up? Welcome. This is basically showing my journey from being a hot mess, total slob, but keeping it a secret, to getting my act together, getting organized, and getting my house under control. This mudroom has been a pain point basically since the day we moved in. It wasn't finished, and you know when you move into a new place and you're like have all these projects and big plans, but they don't really happen the way you think they're gonna happen, or certainly not as fast as you plan for them to happen. So it was a long time for this to happen, and it finally has, and I finally feel like we have a place for all of our boots and our coats and everything. So I'm so excited to show you the process of getting our mudroom done.
So looking back at the before picture, this was just out of control. We had no real system here. I had put some hooks on the wall, but really we were just dropping stuff and walking away. So we made our own plan to fit this room specifically, and then my husband and his father built these cubbies using plywood and 2x10s just for the bench. We painted it all white, that kind of matches our house, and then we just stained the bench to match some of the other wood trim in our house. I thought since we had these cubbies, everything would be great and I'd be organized, but it turns out I still didn't have a system and we were still just dumping stuff here. In addition, there are a couple things we never got around to finishing, like the doors on the tall closet part of the cubbies, and we need to paint our back door. It's still just primer and it picks up all the dirt, all the mud. So I decided 2 weeks ago, enough is enough. I am getting this project finished before winter. The first thing I had to tackle though was all of that extra clutter. So I started with a massive purge.
So one really funny thing about this project is it was almost done. My husband and his dad worked really hard to get the cubbies built, and they did such an amazing job. But there were a few things left to do, and for some reason I was waiting for my husband to do them. I mean, he's really handy, and usually I just have a list of things I want him to do, but I don't know, somewhere I just forgot that, hey, I'm also really handy. So I decided to tackle the last little bits myself. I am so proud of myself. I had forgotten I was able to even do half of these things, and it's finally done. I don't have to stare at the door anymore. I don't have to harass him about it. I don't have to stare at the cupboards. Everything is just done. Okay, so I was able to go through a bunch of my stuff and purge a bunch of stuff, send it to the thrift store. So now what I have is a few piles of stuff that I know I want to keep, but I don't necessarily need all the time. So let me show you where I'm at.
I divided all of our outdoor stuff by winter and summer and age. My kids' stuff is in one pile, my stuff's in one pile, and then there was a bunch of extra stuff like school stuff and dance stuff and coats, and so now I'm going to organize it all so everybody's stuff is separate.
Last night I went to Walmart and I got these containers. So you can see I've got 3 here, kind of 2 unicorny ones and then a space one. I have 3 kids, so each one is gonna get one of these little totes, I guess. Yeah, they're just from Walmart, super cheap. And then I bought these other totes. So they're kind of a papery jute. I live really rurally, so I would have liked to have more selection, but you know what? Good enough is good enough, and I think these are gonna look actually pretty good up in these top cubbies. So my plan is to have everything that we need to access every day. I'm gonna have, right at hand, and everything that we access semi-regularly in here, everything that we access, once a year in the basement, in the garage, and everything that we just don't use is gone. Getting rid of it. All right, so my plan for everybody's basket, so this will be mine. I just already had this one. This one will be my husband's, and then my oldest daughter, or probably my youngest daughter, my son, and then our oldest daughter. I want everybody to have kind of 2 pairs of mittens, because mittens get wet, 1 toque or 2 toques, and that should be good. I want my kids to really be able to self-serve out of these things. So here I go. We built these before we knew we were having another baby. So now we have 3 kids, and really it would make more sense to have 5 cubbies, but we only had 2 kids at the time. So I was like, 4 cubbies, perfect. Little did we know. Either way, the girls are gonna share, and that's fine. They share everything anyways because they're pretty close in age. Eventually I'm gonna put some shelves in here, but you know, just like major victory that I even have the doors on. Okay, so that's that. So down here, I feel like this is like a major hack that is worth picking up. I have all my kids' backpacks. So what I do is I have a different backpack for every activity. We have their school bags, their ballet bags, and then they have a gymnastic bag that they share. I keep all of the stuff that they need for the activity in the backpack. So all we have to do is grab and go. There's no unpacking, repacking, you know, way less chance you're gonna forget things. These weren't expensive. I think these were gifts, and this is just something we picked up at the thrift store. So, you know, you don't have to go and buy a bunch of new backpacks. Just head to your local thrift store and, you know, grab a few for $1, or even just get a reusable bag. Just keep the stuff separate. It's just so much easier. Another thing that was really important to me was minimizing the amount of stuff that was here. So 1, I decluttered a ton of extra jackets, but 2, I made sure that each of my kids only has 1 jacket. There's a pair of snow pants here because winter. And then my husband and I each have 2 jackets. So this is my kind of winter jacket I use all the time, and then just a vest. Along with that, I gave everybody a bin, and in the bin there is a hat, a little neck warmer, some kind of wet winter mitts, and then dry winter mitts. And then I also threw a pair of socks in here because the amount of times we get down here to put boots on and they don't have socks on, we don't have to run all the way upstairs. So I've just been keeping kind of a few extra pairs, but not everything. They do have extra winter stuff. I decluttered a bunch, and I have an extra bin up top. We live in a super, super cold area, so it's not really worth it to throw everything away because you just always need extra mitts. But the stuff that's on hand and the stuff that's accessible is minimal. So then same with shoes. I wanted to keep it super minimal. I have just a couple pairs of shoes for each person, the one that they use, a couple pairs of shoes for my kids, and then their boots, which they are wearing because they're in the backyard right now, which is why I'm able to make this. And then I have these indoor shoes that I wear only indoors, and they go right up to my bedroom. Extra shoes are kept in people's bedrooms or in our front hallway closet. I really wanted to keep the stuff that's out to a minimum. The last piece of the puzzle is maintaining the system and not letting it go back the way it was. So I'm really trying to make sure that everybody maintains the system, but I feel like the way we've got it set up now will hopefully make it as easy as possible for everyone to stick with it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. If you're interested in more kind of room makeover videos, I would love to make more. So give me your suggestions where you want me to go next. I know a couple places I've been thinking is my small bathroom, which is super blah, and my pantry, which needs to be done, but it's scary and it's gonna be a massive project. So let me know in the comments what you think you want to see, and if you have any hacks for organizing your mudroom and your kids' jackets and shoes, always let me know because you guys have the best ideas. I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.